I think it's a remarkable development. I think there's a whole question around the fact that this was a leaked court document, which is fairly unprecedented and really a sign of how radical the activism in the US has become. We think it's most likely, though not certain, to have come from pro-abortion advocates who want to try and intimidate the judges into ruling differently to how they had planned. So it's a really crazy development in that respect. But I think in terms of the more general issue, obviously this has encouraged pro-lifers who believe that the current law, the current status quo determined by Roe v. Wade, is out of step with public opinion, is out of step with science, and is fundamentally outdated and bad law. The reality is that Roe v. Wade 50 years ago allowed abortion all the way through the first 2 trimesters for any reason at all, and allowed abortion even up to birth for health reasons, which were defined as including anything, including emotional health, social health, financial health, and so on. And so in practice, also allowed abortion up to birth for almost any reason at all. So in that sense, this isn't, at least today's news, is not a question fundamentally about whether you support abortion access or not. It's a question about Roe v. Wade, which we know that is something that Americans do not support and is something that science has continually undermined by showing how quickly the baby develops in the womb. So I think that anyone who supports even a moderate abortion law, and certainly pro-lifers, will be very much encouraged by what they've seen from the courts, though, of course, we know that it's not a final judgment, so that will come in a few weeks. So, as you say,
Calum, pro-lifers in this country will be encouraged by it. Just practically, I mean, I don't know to what extent you're an expert on US federal law, but the effect of it is to kick this down to the state level, so you will get a mosaic now in America where different states, depending on their political and cultural complexion, will arrive at a different determination.
Absolutely. So this won't ban abortion across the country, far from it. Most, or half the states really, will most likely keep abortion up until birth, whereas the other half will enact a variety of different measures, really according to the democratic will expressed through the legislature. And this is something, of course, that Roe v. Wade circumvented. What many people don't know is that in 1972, the year before Roe v. Wade, New York State Assembly voted to ban abortion. So it was very much a divisive topic, even in New York, one of the most liberal states at the time. And because of that, the court decided that they didn't want the legislature to have a say. They didn't want it to be democratically decided. And so they determined that the entire country would have to abide by the ruling of 7 men rather than being able to debate it themselves.